The Rocket Man, a story about Elon Musk in a quiet, sunlit room filled with books on engineering and science fiction. Elon Musk sat at his desk, tapping his fingers on the smooth surface. His mind, a whirlwind of ideas, was always racing, always dreaming of things that hadn't yet been done. He wasn't the type to wait for the world to catch up with him. He wanted to build the future, faster, smarter, and in ways that were once deemed impossible. Born in Pretoria, South Africa, Elon had always been different. Even as a child, he had a voracious appetite for knowledge. He spent countless hours reading science fiction novels, imagining what the world could be like in the future. His favorite stories were those of space exploration, of humanity reaching the stars. Little did anyone know, the boy who was often teased for his shy demeanor and nerdy tendencies would one day take humanity to the very edge of the cosmos. But that was all in the future. For now, in the present, Elon was just a young man with a big idea, one that would change the course of history. He wanted to make space travel accessible to everyone, not just astronauts and government agencies. That IT wasn't an easy dream to chase. Elon had already learned that much after dropping out of Stanford University just days into his PhD program to pursue a different path, one that didn't involve traditional schooling or academic degrees. His first company, Zip2, was an online city guide he co-founded with his brother, Kimball. It was a success, but it was only the beginning. With the $307 million he made from selling Zip2, Elon started X.com, a payment company that would eventually become PayPal. The sale of PayPal to eBay for $1.5 billion gave Elon the capital he needed to pursue his real passion, space. In 2002, he founded SpaceX with a singular goal: to reduce the cost of space travel and make space exploration possible for future generations. At the time, the idea seemed audacious, if not impossible. Most of the world's space programs were run by government entities with billions in funding. Who was Elon Musk, a young entrepreneur with no background in aerospace, to challenge that? But Elon wasn't one to back down. He'd already defied the odds before, and he was determined to do it again. He poured his fortune into SpaceX, investing tens of millions of dollars in the company, and began working with a team of engineers to design rockets that were reusable, something no one had ever truly attempted before. The road was tough. There were failures, lots of them, explosions, missed launches, but Elon kept pushing forward, refusing to give up. Every failure was a lesson, a step closer to his goal. Then, in 2008, something miraculous happened. After 3 failed launches, SpaceX's Falcon 1 rocket finally reached orbit on its 4th attempt. It was a monumental achievement, not just for SpaceX, but for the future of private space exploration. Elon, ever the visionary, didn't stop there. He set his sights on Mars. The idea of colonizing Mars had been a dream for centuries, but no one had ever really considered it seriously. Elon believed that humanity needed to become a multi-planetary species to ensure its survival. With that vision in mind, SpaceX developed the Falcon Heavy, the most powerful operational rocket in the world, capable of carrying heavy payloads to Mars and beyond. SpaceX's success wasn't just about rockets and space missions. It was about changing the entire landscape of space exploration. The company's breakthroughs, reusable rockets, landing boosters, and reducing the cost of space travel, opened doors for the private sector to enter the space race in ways that had never been imagined before. In addition to SpaceX, Elon also turned his attention to other world-changing ventures. There was Tesla, which aimed to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, and the Boring Company, which worked to alleviate traffic congestion through underground tunnels. He even proposed a high-speed transportation system called the Hyperloop, which would use magnetic levitation to transport people between cities at nearly the speed of sound. But through it all, his focus remained on space. In 2020, SpaceX made history again when it became the first private company to send astronauts to the International Space Station aboard the Crew Dragon spacecraft. It was a crowning moment, a validation of all the years of hard work, the sleepless nights, and the relentless pursuit of a dream that many had thought was impossible. Elon's journey was never smooth, but his vision was clear: to make life multiplanetary, to build a future that was not bound by the limits of Earth. He had the persistence of a man who knew that failure was just a stepping stone, and the imagination of someone who could see a future far beyond what was possible at the time. In the years to come, humanity would likely remember Elon Musk not just as an inventor or a businessman, but as the man who made space travel real, who turned science fiction into science fact. And for Elon, that was just the beginning. As the sun set over his company's launch pad, with the roar of rockets in the distance and the promise of Mars on the horizon, Elon Musk stared at the stars, his mind already racing ahead. The future, as always, was just beyond reach.